without intro music tonight.
Oh, what happened to the intro music?
The tablet died.
Oh,
It's
no.
not charged. So maybe on hour two.
So like it works still. Just right now it's
The
Correct.
battery's dead.
okay. Fair enough.
Correct.
Because the tablet is wiggity, wiggity, wiggity whack.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Okay. That tablet's lived a long life.
Yeah, dude, it's literally like a $12 tablet I got, and it serves one function, and it is to play sounds. And I quite literally play one sound off of it, and it's the intro to this. Every once in a while, I get cheeky and play soundboard sounds off of
I
it.
remember that.
But I'm so slow on it that it never actually works. Like, if I was just the guy sitting here, like, waiting to hit sounds, I could do that. But, you guys want me to be a part of
Should we
this
find
whole-
that guy for the next show?
I mean,
Just an intern to hit buttons and
have
change
like
camera angles
it's
and
going to
shit?
be 2 people on mic and 17 people behind the scenes, like Opie and Anthony back in the day, where
that
you're
how
just
that
like,
works?
really, is
Oh,
that
that's-
how many people
Why is
it
everything
takes?
compared to Opie and Anthony?
Because it's the gold
Because
standard.
and it's it's no different with Howard. Like, to be completely honest, like Opie and Anthony took a lot of Howard's mentality, where it's like a ton of prep work behind the scenes, but it's really only 3 people on mic, but it's literally 25 people to make those 3 people talk. Opie and Anthony were no different. Most great talk shows are no different. One of my favorite things in history was watching, I forget all the players on Howard, but them just feeding Billy West lines.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
Billy West, who did all the voices for Futurama,
Okay.
okay, like literally
Yeah.
all the voices.
Yeah.
He was a Howard guy, and there was this incident where, like, all these comics, Jackie the Joke Man, Fred Norris, and several others were just literally like filling out pieces of paper and just shoving it in front of him. He's doing them in character, and he's not even reading them to like sift through them. So he's saying reprehensible, get kicked off the air kind of shit because he's just in his zone. It's one of the most amazing Howard Stern moments because you're like, Billy West almost got fucking shit canned, and he was just like, I don't know. People were putting words in front of me. I just read them in character. But it's a character. Like if you watched, the Imus thing in Howard Stern's movie, he's doing it in character, and you get away with it if it's in character.
Yeah. I mean, that back then you did.
It's
Not-
like, well,
not now.
no, he's still like Bear would still get away with like all the, fuck, I just blanked. Sorry, it's been a long day.
Apparently.
The Alex Jones shit.
Okay.
Because you're doing it in character,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
allowed to do that because it's parody and it's satire. You're allowed. As soon as you,
Am I on?
I can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. I'm also pretty stoned. Go ahead.
Don't blame the stoned.
So you don't. Once you do things in character, you don't have to. It lifts things up because it's parody and satire, and that's part of copyright law. You're allowed to do it.
That's how Weird Al's career exists.
Which is why whenever you are in your Alex Jones voice, we never say allegedly. It's just like, nope, you're doing a character. You're allowed to say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
I like to fuck little boys. Like, you're allowed to say that because it's a character.
I wouldn't besmirch the good name of Alex Jones like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, Alex Jones is an unsung hero to me. I'm not going to say I believe in everything that he says or I even listen to him, really. But, like, legitimately, I would say 95% of everything the man's ever said that I researched was true.
Yeah. It blew my mind. Like,
He's accurate as fuck. And everyone was like, oh, he's just a Republican shit. Just
No.
Dude, I remember when it was during the Clinton administration before Bush 2 got in office.
Yeah.
He used to be on AM radio out here.
Oh, yeah.
And fucking, he was always going, he's like, George W. Bush is a croakhead. I've seen him do cocaine. He's offered to do cocaine with me. That's what the Satanists want. They want me to do cocaine with just going off, dude. It was great.
I thought he was
He's like, he doesn't know how to run a country. He doesn't even know how to run a baseball team.
Yeah, well,
Just went off, dude. It was awesome.
first, the weird, what's that called? The where something happened, but it could have went either way. Where if this happened, the world would be completely different, but we went this way instead. It's like a fork in the road type of situation.
Sure.
Okay.
George W. Bush was literally within inches away from becoming because the baseball needed a full-time commissioner, because Bud Selig was the acting one, and George W. Bush was within inches of becoming that, like in '99, because he was the owner of the Texas Rangers, and he loved baseball, and he kind of wanted.
Because it has to be an owner, right? That's the
It
commissioner.
doesn't have to be, but because Faye Vincent
They
wasn't.
prefer an owner
Yeah,
because an owner understands what it's like to have
I mean,
money
this is
on this level.
WWE rules. Like, you
Yeah.
need to be part of the WWE to be the commissioner.
Oh no, but Faye Vincent wasn't. Bart Giamatti wasn't. Kennesaw Mountain Landis, the first guy, was just a judge. They just needed. It's just someone, but they always side with the owners. Like whenever they go on strike, he's the spokesman for basically the owners. It just happened that Bud Selig was an owner when he got in.
Yeah, man, I'm just representing other owners. Like sometimes we get high and we throw the baseball around. It's like having
Yeah.
a dad I never had before.
But can you imagine that? Can you imagine if Bush, instead of running for president, became the fucking commissioner of baseball instead? Where the fuck this world would be at right now?
Better.
No, I refuse to believe that.
I don't. I would. Maybe.
I
don't
feel
know.
like baseball would be better. You'd be
Yes,
like,
that
this
is true.
This isn't fun.
Dude,
I want to make this
yeah.
more fun. Let's see. Can we involve hitting?
Yeah. Oh, he
Can
would.
physical violence be involved?
He would have been.
Can we lift that ban on steroids? I was the president, right?
He's like, they're not going to question me. They'd be like, it was a lot more fun when these motherfuckers were hitting the ball 900 feet. Let's just make that happen. I say steroids are mandatory.
That and like Alex Jones is one of those guys that when I first started like hearing him, I would listen to him as like one of those guys that was just like, oh, this guy's out of his mind. He's just talking out of his ass. And then like slowly, one thing after another, after another, after another, would trickle down the pipeline where you're like, oh, he was right about that. Like Bohemian Grove, the fraudulent fucking riots at the WTO in Seattle, where the cops clearly fucking started that shit. And he actually had proof where like the boot pattern from the fucking guys who like ran off were actually like a certain type of boot, a boot that only fucking cops can get. And all, he did all kinds of research, and it was like, and it was fucking true.
So I've been
Yeah.
thinking about this a lot lately. When you look at somebody like Alex Jones, and let's just keep this within the box of Alex Jones, because you can apply the same thing I'm about to say to a lot of personalities. But let's keep it to Alex Jones because he's like the issue for a lot of people. Like, oh, you believe in Alex Jones? It's
Yeah.
like, okay, here's the way I look at Alex Jones. He is somebody that listens to the people around him. He will say fucking anything.
Yeah.
He will look at any problem, any track, and just like, let's follow this. His downfall is that he portends to believe it all, but I appreciate the fact that he presents it all.
Yeah.
Because that's what you should do. I'm just presenting shit. Sometimes he comes off that is like, this is fact. That is where I have an issue. But at the end of the day, I love the
But
fact.
even when he does, this is fact. You can go through and do the research, and he's still got like a 99.5% hit rate.
Correct. And that's
Really the only thing they have on him is Sandy Hook, and I still question the authenticity of Sandy Hook.
well. So let's bring that more insular. We have talked about a lot of fucking wacky shit over the last some 100 episodes. Chances are we've hit absolute fact on a lot of them. Just by odds of being like, well, this, and it can be so esoteric and something that won't be proven for 75 fucking years.
Yeah, that's-
But I guarantee that we've hit fact. So I look at somebody like Alex Jones that throw it all at the wall and see what sticks. I have a lot of respect for somebody that does that with not a lot of discrimination against it. A lot of people be like, I will never say this unless I have grounds. And that's when we say, well, that's legitimate media. I think that the biggest problem is that most of them don't actually know this for fact, and then they just throw it at the wall, and they're presenting it as fact as opposed to conjecture, which is what Alex Jones does. He's like, Imagine this, imagine this, imagine this. This looks like this looks like this. He is the epitome of it. If it looks like a duck, if it smells like a duck, it's probably a fucking duck. But he will give you all the things without saying, it's a fucking duck.
Yeah.
Which is what makes him intelligent.
Yeah, because it's kind of making you figure it out on your own almost. Like he's just laying it out for you.
It's like, I don't know, I'm just seeing
Yeah.
these things.
But like,
and
he'll say shit where you're like, no, fucking get out of here. And then like 10 years
Dude, I'm
later,
telling you, he called Epstein Island
Yeah,
like
he-
15 years ago, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, "You're insane. There's no island full of pedophile activity. That's madness. Government leaders would never go to that island." Blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, Jeffrey Epstein gets locked up, and those fucking flight logs come out. And sure as shit, world leaders are going to Epstein Island to fuck children.
quite literally.
Yeah,
Well, but that was already widely
world
known.
leaders. Yeah, but now there's proof. No one wanted to believe it because there wasn't proof.
I mean, like, fair, but the thing is like, when the whole Epstein thing went down, I was just like, yeah, wait, what? Like, it didn't surprise me. It's like, of course the people that have billions of dollars are doing some fucking depraved shit. Like, why wouldn't you? I have billions of dollars and I control the world. Why
But
wouldn't
how
I
c-
do
okay,
depraved shit?
Here's my biggest problem with all of this. Like you just said, before that, I'd have never even thought about it. But as soon as it came out, it made sense. But for people like me that were preaching this a decade ago, the fact that it's now been proven and makes sense, we still gain no credibility. We're still crackpots.
Well, and that is the fucked up part. Is like anybody, I wore a name tag at work for a long time said Epstein didn't kill himself. Of course he didn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he
no.
didn't.
Sure.
Maybe he physically actually went through the act of hanging himself.
Now,
I
yeah.
don't believe that was his decision or was not under duress. Somebody was like, you kill yourself, or there are going to be fucking problems because you fucking pissed off literally the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just the way
yeah.
this works. I've seen enough fucking gangster movies to know it's like you piss the big guy off.
Yeah, and you're gonna talk and all that shit and blow the whole thing. We're gonna kill you. But also like when he got arrested, dude, it just shows you what the trust level is in this country as far as everyone. I bet you 45% of Americans, when they read that he got arrested, knew for a fact he was gonna die. They were gonna kill him somehow. You just knew it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just because that's what I said.
It was going to go down one of two ways.
Yeah.
Either the Clintons were going to get him because the Clintons got a fucking body count that is unreal.
Yeah. A lot.
Or
No,
inmates were going to get him because that is the one thing you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to fuck with women or children. And other inmates will fucking kill you over it.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
know. I
Because
don't.
it gives you like inmate street cred.
I don't wanna
or
give-
box cred.
I
whatever.
almost don't want to give credit to the Clintons because I know they have a body count. Like, this is well known. But this kind of thing, I don't know. I think it goes deeper than that. Like, the Clintons don't, they have clout, but not that kind of clout.
So do you think?
What kind of clout?
Like, at the end of the day, they're
Hang on. Where was he locked up when he died?
New York.
Let's look it up. Let's find out the exact prison.
He was in New York.
Yeah.
He was in
Okay,
what
was
was
he on Rikers?
formerly, no, he was in federal.
Yeah, he was like in federal lockup. So probably was that the one in the Bronx that's right near right near Yankee Stadium? Oh, that's the courthouse.
So,
Because there's one in the Bronx. I don't know if it's that one though. The Boogie Down Bronx. But I mean, the fact that 40-some-odd% probably of Americans read that and went, "Oh, he's going to get it," and then when he did, we were like, "Oh, we're not surprised." Like I wasn't surprised when I read the headline on my phone. When I saw that, I was like, "Of course." Like it doesn't surprise me. And-
Legitimately, the only thing that surprised me is that they actually arrested him. After that, I knew they were going to kill him.
yeah, the old fucking Lee Harvey Oswald.
So, James, where was he locked up?
Metropolitan Correctional Center. So
Work.
he
Sounds just like a
no, he
housing.
was in Civic. It's a
But that's in New York City, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a transfer station. It's usually I mean, you've been in jail.
Can you
go
remind me
there
where,
and then
where
you go
Hillary Clinton worked after Bill Clinton was president?
she
She had a government job, right?
she was the New York senator,
Yeah.
but I don't believe of New York City. But
No.
I may be wrong.
She was the senator of New York.
So you're telling me that a woman that was a former first lady and also a senator for the state where he was housed couldn't pull enough connections to have him whacked into prison?
Or at least make enough people turn a blind eye to what they're about to do. You know what I'm saying? Not like they were complicit, but they were also kind of complicit with the fact of not giving or not really paying attention. No? I don't know.
I don't think he likes my train.
No. I'm here for it. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I'm trying to get you your answers, but as it would be expected, it's buried in a lot of things.
What happens if you just Google
first
Clinton body
female-
count?
First female senator from New York, but so there's 2 senators. So
Yeah. It was her and at the
Bobby
time-
McFuckface.
close.
Schumer,
Moynihan.
I don't-
Yeah,
Moynihan?
no, it was
Bobby Moynihan?
Yeah, it was
Bobby Moynihan, drunk uncle.
the less creepier Horatio Sands.
Oh Jesus,
Yeah.
you saw that,
Yeah.
right?
What?
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Horatio Sands has been like indicted.
He's it's something like
I
that.
think he's
Yeah.
been
Indicted? For
for-
what?
Like while he was on the staff of SNL, he was literally training young girls,
like
like the Nexium cult thing, kind of?
like
well-
training them to be his little sex slaves.
like these
Oh,
are,
he was like finding young women and personally grooming them.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
grooming.
okay.
yeah.
Why do people want to have sex with children? It's so fucking weird to
Dude,
me.
I don't get it either. They're fucking annoying. Like honestly, I mean, the last thing I'm thinking is
I don't
like,
even want to
yeah,
fuck someone in their 20s.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Like,
ha-
if you're 29, I'm sorry. Hit me up in a year.
I'm hanging out with a girl that's 28, and I'm on the precipice of being like, yeah, you just go do your thing.
If they're
'Cause,
that
like,
age,
I'm not.
but if they're that age, it's got to be like a grizzled 28. Like they've seen shit. You know what I mean? Like not
But the problem is, I'm a grizzled 44.
yeah, but like you can kind of. That's your best case. I'm just saying, like that's your
No,
best
what
case
it
scenario.
needs
I
to
won't
be
even.
is-
I won't even look in that part of the grocery store.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, that's where the women's hygiene products are. I'm not a woman. I don't need those hygiene products. I'm gonna move on to the next.
It would
aisle.
have to be an amazing deal for me to even like kind of.
I'm just not even gonna care. The gap between me and my last serious relationship was 10 years,
Yeah.
and that was too much. I felt like I spent 35% of my life in that relationship explaining pop culture references that she doesn't care about.
I
That's
have
got-
not
And
experienced
rough.
that's
that.
fucking annoying, man.
That
I
sucks,
fucking
yeah.
hate that shit. And so if you even widen that gap farther for me to date someone 29 because she's presumably whatever I'm looking for, there's no fucking way, man. That is a fucking 15-year gap.
It all depends on common interests.
Which almost don't exist at a 15-year gap.
15 is pushing it.
Dude, I raised my kids and I have no common interest with them.
Well, that's also because you're their dad, and they're just like, I don't want to love what my dad loves. They're got to be at that age.
My kids absolutely love me.
No. They love you.
No,
They
dude,
just
like
don't
my
wanna
daughter,
always
my
love
daughter
what you
wants
love.
access to my playlists. Like, dude, they're down for the whatever. Like, they just love it.
Okay, so that you must have not got that one then.
Yeah,
'Cause
seriously.
I know
'cause-
exactly what you're saying because, like, I remember. I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When I was a kid, I was like, I don't know, like 11. Hootie the Blowfish just came out. I know this is fucking terrible, but that one song came out, and I kind of dug it because I have a terrible taste in music.
Oh,
That one, yeah.
hair.
And all that
Oh,
stuff.
Hootie's the black guy, right?
Yeah,
No,
Yeah.
the band is called.
But
Hootie.
there's like his
It's-
real name is like Darius Rucker. Or
Darius
something.
Yeah.
Rucker. He is not Hootie.
I
yeah,
don't give a fuck, but it's that band.
yeah.
Yes.
They were terrible.
I know, but like,
Darius Rucker, I know you're listening, and Jake was a fan. Big
Yeah,
shout out to your
yeah.
past career.
Yeah.
I understand he does country music now.
he does, which is
Is it successful?
It's
Because fucking Kid Rock does country
Dude,
music, and I feel
also-
like that's where you go when you fail your way to the bottom.
that's also what fucking
Think about it.
Aaron Lewis
Kesha
does
was a
that.
pop star, failed country singer. Kid Rock was a rock star, failed country singer. Mike Ness was a rock star, failed country singer. You fail your way into country music.
Aaron Lewis, the guy from Stain, same thing.
There you go.
Yeah, same fucking thing. Like, but his is like that.
Darius Rucker failed at pop music.
Aaron
What's
Lew-
country music.
Aaron Lewis
Country
is-
music is the last. It's like mime for like performance art. Country music is the lowest common denominator of music at this point in history. I'm not saying it was always that way. Can we not listen to
I
this?
really hope that Trevor comes back on this show so we can talk country music. That nothing would make me happier.
This is god awful.
I know.
I
It's
remember
terrible.
this in real time.
But
Me too.
But I liked them, and then my dad, like a month later, is on the radio, and he's like, "Yeah, couldn't dig this," and all of a sudden, dude, it was like watching Enron stock just plummet. It was, and it was all organic. It wasn't like I was like, "Oh, you like it? Gross." I was like, "Okay," and then a week later, I hear it again. I'm like, "Ugh." And I heard it like a week after that. I'm like, "Ugh." And then I'm turning it off. Like I don't like it anymore, because my dad, because I didn't want to have like, I thought he was just an old dude, so I want to be like hip and cool. And yeah, so that's like classic rock. I was like, I don't know. And then as like when I turned like 15 or 16, I was like, oh no, this shit's pretty rad. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Because you're having like this fucking.
It came at me for my because I only had
power
like
struggle.
dad access, if you will, till I was about 8,
Yeah.
maybe 9, and then it was sketchy at best till about 12, and it just didn't exist. But the one thing I will give my dad credit for is he had just a wide spectrum of music that he loved. So I was exposed to a lot of music at a young age.
That's pretty cool.
Like, my dad wasn't a big movie guy. The only thing I remember my dad doing and loving more than just listening to music was watching football and listening to music. My dad would have the TV on, absolutely no volume out of the TV, and just whatever album he was in the mood for at maximum fucking volume and just watching football.
I have a tremendous amount of respect for that because there is nothing that I like more than watching football on mute with something else going on. Like music, just something else that brings me to is involved differently.
Yeah.
Like I'll build
Like-
Legos and watch the Super Bowl because it's just like, that's a thing? But this is what I'm paying attention to.
I don't want to watch football that bad. I don't
with-
care about the commercials in the Super Bowl. Like, it doesn't do anything for me. But I'm sure Hamill still loves football, right?
Oh yeah.
Go Pats.
Oh yeah. We're actually looking pretty good. Like not great, but you know.
Now, are you a partial Buccaneers fan simply because of Tom Brady at this point? Are you still a Tom Brady fan
let
now
me-
that he's at the Buccaneers?
Here's the thing with Tom Brady. It's like imagine you had a 20-year amazing relationship, right?
Sure.
And it became very quick that you realized that that person you were outgrowing each other.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't like, fuck you, no, fuck you. Blah. It was just like, no, I'm at an age now where I want to do my own thing. And you guys should probably, I'm getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to.
Yeah. It was a mutual breakup.
So it's like, imagine you were dating this chick for 20 years. Like, you probably married or whatever. But then, like, she went off, did her own thing, and she's kicking ass. And you're happy for her, but you realize that they had to break up with you and to do that, to live their life. So you can't get mad at that. You can be like, but yeah, you still got to take care of your own shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still rooting. I'm like, come on, Cam Newton or whoever the fuck, or Mac Jones, who the fuck's quarterback going to be. And if, like, the Patriots are playing the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, which I don't think is going to happen, but if they were, I'd be Patriots. But if Tom Brady won, I'd be like, that's all right, you know, okay. I wouldn't be mad. I would be like,
you
fuck
make
him.
sports fandom sound so depressing.
No, I was really, no, I disagree. I was letting him go for this because it's like you keyed onto something that we've keyed onto this show, and since we have potentially very few of these left,
Yeah.
future story.
Yeah.
It is very relationship-esque.
Yeah.
How do you treat the people in your life?
Yeah.
Like, dude, love this girl for fucking hot minute. I'm still going to root for her even if I'm not the one that's with her.
Yeah. And
Now, what happens when I fuck her best friend and,
Yeah.
like, her best friend's telling her like, bro, you shouldn't have left this dude. This dude's getting it down.
That would be the equivalent
Like-
of him going to the Jets.
No, but
Yes.
like if it was in some weird universe where it was like the Bucks and New England playing each other,
Yeah.
be like, I don't know, man. I don't know why you left. I'm
And-
getting deep dicked by this motherfucker. Like, why would you leave? That's where it gets complicated. Otherwise, it's like, of course you cheer for the people you love.
Also,
In any
yeah.
respect.
That guy's brought us so much fucking joy. You serious? Like 9 fucking Super Bowls in 20 years? That's fucking insane. That's an average of a Super Bowl like every other year. Just going there and then winning them most of the fucking time. And then when he's like, listen, I want to do something new. You can't look at that guy and go, man, fuck you. That's so not fair. That's such bullshit.
So apply this to
Yeah.
a relationship scenario with
Yeah.
male, female,
Oh,
whoever
well,
you
yeah.
decide to call your significant
Like I'll
other.
give you, like I said earlier, if he would have said, fuck you guys, and then like went to the Jets, I'd be like, man, fuck you, dude. Fuck you right in the mouth, you asshole. Like the Jets, motherfucker.
Really? You
Oh,
would
yeah.
have done that?
Oh yeah, because it's like
So you would have stopped cheering for the person you love
and that-
because they fucked your asshole, like the guy you got in a fight with once, like sophomore year of high school.
This is the weirdest conversation I've ever watched happen.
no, but like
let
the point
this
I'm trying to
go.
make is like that's him basically fucking your friend. That's her fucking your friend.
So what? Why can't
your
why
enemy.
can't she fuck your friend?
I like that's it's a slight. You're fucking doing that shit on purpose, and also it's the fact that like I can't
Why-
I
whoa,
can't
whoa,
support
whoa.
this. I
But-
can't
but
support
bring
this.
that back. You're doing this on purpose. Let's
Like,
focus on
yeah,
that element.
That's a fuck you. That's a giant fuck you.
why?
Because there's other teams he could have went to, and he knows the fucking rivalry between them. He just does. It's like when a Red Sox player goes to the fucking Yankees.
So
Yeah.
okay, let's
They know they're gonna catch shit. They're gonna catch shit. It's just what it is.
so okay, let's examine this. Let's
Yeah.
make this a little more micro.
Okay.
You and I, good friends, yes?
Uh huh. Yeah.
Say girl you were with, you guys didn't work out, and then the first dick she caught after that was mine. How would that play out between you and me?
I mean,
No, be
Okay,
honest. Like
be
I'm
honest.
not interested in like the
It-
bullshit emotion. Let's be
Yeah.
honest about the situation.
I-
This is important. People have this
I
problem.
would be kind of like, all right, what the fuck, man? Like, kind of at first. I'm not gonna lie, that'd be my first one.
I appreciate
that would be that would be the initial like, what the fuck? Like that's, because your first reaction to something like that, you're gonna be like, whoa, like that's you know what I'm saying? Like it's not an everyday thing. Hold on, I'm
So
getting
I
somewhere.
have a feeling I
Yeah.
know what you're going
But-
to ask, but,
but-
hold off. We're keeping this as a
because of
very
the fact that
binary.
like I'm gonna see her a lot more now and all this stuff, and it's gonna be there. Like, just one of my biggest pet peeves in life is like finding shit out and not being told something, just finding it out.
I mean, I can't argue that.
So,
I hate
like,
finding shit out.
that's
I'd
the
rather
f-
just like tell me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'd
if
rather
you-
you just be like, yeah, this is happening.
well, we know someone
Okay.
who's had this similar situation, and I didn't think that really played out to our friend's advantage. I thought that was kind of bullshit on the other dude's part.
It ended up working out
Yeah,
well.
but
for
anyway,
our-
yeah, but I would never tell you can't date her. I would never. Let's say, like, what if you guys fucking fall in love and fucking all of a sudden pop up like 4 or 5 kids and fucking live the rest of your lives in fucking harmony or whatever? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who am I to tell you to fucking don't do that because I finger fucked her one time in a parking lot at fucking Safeway? Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like, who am I to say that to you? But yet at the same time, like, I don't trust women. That's the fucking problem. And they can come at you and they can rub the shit in your face.
So your biggest concern would
Yeah.
be in this scenario.
Yeah.
That I end up hooking up with somebody that you broke up with or were on the rocks with, and then you find out I'm fucking her.
Yeah.
Your biggest problem is that you weren't told about it by her or me, more
Yeah.
importantly me,
Yeah.
and to some greater or lesser degree. But the unknowing about what's going on,
Yeah.
like the FOMO.
Not the FOMO, like, because like I'm kind of like once it's done, it's done. It's all over but the crying. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But at the same time, like you kind of don't want that person lingering in your life. You need just wipe it clean. You got especially when it goes bad. It would not. I'm just saying not all relationships, but ones that like either went like did not end well to slash ended horribly, like that end of the spectrum.
So
You know what I mean?
I'm
It all depends how it ends.
I'm trying not to be like Anthony Armstrong preachy here.
Yeah.
I have to say
Go for
some
it.
things.
Please go.
One, this is no longer a sports analogy. In any fucking
No,
way,
we
shape, or
definitely
form.
lost
Tom
that.
Brady.
And in that issue, the reason you can't I'm not saying we should get away from what Jake's discussing right now. Let's stay on that topic, but it no longer applies to sports in any way, shape, or fashion. Nor did it in the beginning of this conversation because none of you are paying the women that you're having sex with millions and millions of dollars a year to fucking do it.
I mean,
Okay,
that's
fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, the analogy that when the quarterback left your team to go somewhere else is like your girlfriend fucking your friend. Absolutely not.
I don't know.
That is a ridiculous fucking comparison on every possible spectrum. However, I do believe we should deal with what you were discussing beyond that.
Yes.
It's like a relevant revelation to come through.
yeah.
But it had to be addressed that this was not about sports in any way, shape, or form. Because none of you are paying, no one listening to this show, except maybe Dame Dash, is paying women millions of dollars to fuck.
Who's Dame Dash?
Fuck
Dame
you
Dash
there.
co-founded Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z.
Okay.
Then he went on to form Rockaware.
Uh-huh.
And now he does something else. I don't know. He's a fucking mogul.
Oh, all right. But I mean, that's just. I mean, that's why like whenever I break up with a chick, I gotta like just get the fuck.
Oh,
Yeah.
and another thing,
Yeah.
just to throw this out there, because I feel like we've only got a couple episodes, I'm just going to let all my opinions fly. There's no reason you should ever be fucking someone your home person fucked with. I don't give a fuck. There's how many people live in the Denver metro area, James? Google it right now.
Look.
No, I want numbers. I want hard fucking numbers. I know it's over 1 million.
Oh, it's
I
gotta
know
be.
for a fact it's probably close to 2 point something. I
I
can
think
hear
my
you.
mic's not working.
No, I heard it. You're good.
No, look.
The fact,
Okay,
like,
so
no,
hold-
because
whoa.
it's a conversation to have. Like, Jake has every right to
Look,
be upset.
We've talked about this in that sort of odds way, but at the end of the day, like I wouldn't have met you if I
James-
hadn't have met. If I wouldn't have met you, had I not met Hamill.
That's backwards. I met you through Kevin Fox before you met Hamill.
Maybe, but how did I meet Kevin Fox?
Through comedy?
No, I met
He was your
a
roommate?
sociopath that lived with him and Alex or Marvin,
Okay.
however you
Sure.
like. It was it's a weird journey to figure out how you meet people. You are now an important person in my life. For
But, James, the difference is I didn't fuck anyone you know or have fucked in the past.
but
And
why
you
is
didn't fuck
fucking important?
Because that's my entire point. The thing that upset him is that theoretically you would be the first person to bed his ex. That was the entire premise of that whole conversation
Correct.
5 minutes
and that's
ago.
why I was trying to explore it because
My
it is
whole point, and I get it.
nuanced.
He is allowed to feel upset about that in every way, shape, or form. And the fact that you, allegedly being as close as you are to him, would even fuck that girl, there's no necessity for that. There's no reason for that. That's I know that you didn't do this, so don't take this the wrong way. But that's whoever did or would do that. That is a very selfish behavior. You don't need to fuck someone that one of your friends fucked or had feelings for in a place where there is a million other options.
I
You know what? Let's say there's only 900,000 women in this city. It's still 900,000 other options. If you eliminate the 6 to 10 chicks that Hamill's nailed while he's lived here, you still have 800,990 fucking options. There is no need to fuck someone that your home friends have fucked. Especially if you're cool with that person. It's a ridiculous behavior, and I don't understand why it exists. It's people that are fucking lazy. Like, oh, that chick's single? I already thought she was hot. I kind of know like 4 things about her because my friend fucked her. I got to try. That's not a fucking... That's just lazy. That's bullshit.
I disagree
On
But
what grounds?
A lot, but I don't have a succinct argument to place at you right now. I've got a lot of thoughts going on. But at the end of the day,
So you can't give me an argument, but you disagree.
I do disagree.
Well, why?
Interpersonal relationships are hard to form. Okay?
No, they're not. James, we met each other. We had a good time. We like each other. What was hard to form about that?
How did you and I meet?
I was asked by Kevin Fox to do the Almost Vagrants podcast as a guest in like a fucking diner.
Yeah, we did it at Jake's.
Thank you.
So, you were introduced to me by a friend,
Sure.
okay?
Yeah.
So that immediately eliminates your 900,000 rule. It's
No, because I'm not fucking you. That is a completely different conversation. You can be friends with anyone you
yes,
want.
but you're
But to fuck someone that your
you're-
friend fucked, knowing that it's
you're-
going to hurt your friend, is a selfish
you're,
fucking
but you're
move.
dissociating the idea of like fucking is an act.
Sure.
It eliminates a
And you just said
interpersonal
fucking is an
relationship.
act. It's something you can choose to do or not do. And if you choose to do it knowing that it could hurt your friend, that is shitty friend behavior. And you cannot tell me otherwise. There's no scenario where you doing that to your friend is justified as good behavior. It's
mean,
just fucking not.
I really appreciate you finishing the last half of all the things that I wasn't going to say. It was really helpful, and I'm going to let you have that because fuck you. You didn't let me talk. I made one
I will
statement,
shut
and
up.
then you filled in the fucking blanks however you felt you wanted to. So fuck right off.
Okay.
All right. Well, bump. So that's what's the opinion on that then? I guess I don't. I don't know. So
I don't think there's a consensus this time.
okay.
I just you fail to see that the fact that most human relationships are not fucking just out of the fucking blue. That I run into some random on the side of the street and all of a sudden I get to strike up a great relationship with them. Chances
That's
are
not what I've said.
every person that you've ever met, that you've ever had any lasting friendship with, either became out of a forced, you're around each other, work, school, etc., or you were introduced to through a close friend or a facsimile thereof. So it is not out of the question that you end up hooking up with somebody that was, hey, maybe not his girlfriend, maybe not even the girl that he or you hooked up with, but somebody that you're friends with that ends up coming into my circle, hitting it off in a very different way. It's not always about fucking. It's not. Sometimes it's about making a human connection. And so in the hypothetical of Hamill having a girlfriend that was around here all the time, they break up, but me or whomever else happened to live in the house develops some kind of meaningful friendship and relationship with them, there is nothing to be said that can't go further. It's arrogant to say that you're not allowed to hook up with my ex. That's a fucked up thing. What power do you have? It's your ex. Eat shit. Not yours. Not your property. Can do whatever the fuck I want and whatever she wants or they want or he wants. However you want to examine this scenario. What fucking loyalty do I own anybody other than the thing that is a meaningful relationship? Am I gonna sacrifice having a relationship with somebody because Hamill and I are friends and therefore I can't be close to this person? That's me deciding for them on his behalf. Do you understand that?
And I get what you're saying. And most of it makes sense. And none of it was what I was actually arguing. Most of it doesn't apply to the actual conversation you two were having earlier that scorned what I brought up. Of course you make friends through friends. That's how people meet people. But if your very good friend and roommate has a breakup with someone and you decide to instantly go nail them knowing that it's going to hurt your very good friend, that is not good friend behavior. No one said you can't stay friends with that person. No one said you can't hang out with that person. I said being the first person to fuck that person is shitty behavior.
Why?
Because you know, regardless of how you feel about whatever you feel, that it's going to hurt your friend. And you won't take that into any consideration because you feel something deeper is worth more important than how you project to the rest of the universe?
If that situation is done in this hypothetical, then it's done. Who gives a shit?
Jake
Whatever-
gives a shit
if-
because he's still dealing with the emotional baggage of that. You being a friend of Jake should help. Like, if you want to fuck that chick, wait 6 months so Jake has a chance to get his head scrambled straight. If you have to be friends with that person, be friends with that person. Go to brunch with that person. But don't invite that person here knowing that Jake has to walk past that person every time he wants to go to the bathroom. That's just shitty behavior towards Jake.
I mean,
No one said you can't be friends with that person.
I
I said it's lazy to fuck someone that your friend already fucked. If you fuck someone and then later become friends with someone that fucked that person already, it's a different scenario. You didn't know each other then. But for you to form a relationship with a woman that's already in a relationship is a weird behavior in general. Like, it's one thing to be friends with your homeboy's girlfriend, but to form a relationship so deep with your homeboy's girlfriend that when they break up, you have to remain friends with her behind his back, that's a weird dynamic in itself. Unless all three parties were well aware that you guys were that close the whole time.
Okay, look, fine. I'm exploring this idea.
Oh, sorry.
Am I wrong?
I'm picking up what you're putting down. In fact, it's kind of, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I wouldn't want to see them. Like, like when I finally shut the door on old C-bomb there, dude, I didn't, if she was like even in my circle at all, man, I would have been like, I don't know what the fuck I would have done. I would have probably just like packed up and just left and went somewhere else. Move somewhere, just get out of that circle of people because, like, I don't want to be around her. Like, I don't like her. Like, it didn't work out. She's kind of a self-centered human being. She's a fucking drunk, all that stuff like that. Allegedly. She may have cleaned up. I don't fucking know. But I don't want to be around that life. And I don't want to have to be sucked into that. Like, have to hang out with you guys in that world when I don't want to be in that world to begin with. Yeah.
Okay, so let's examine that.
Yeah.
Would you hang out with her one-on-one
No.
at this point?
No. It's over. It's done with.
No. But, like, without
If we ran
sexual connotation, would you spend time with that individual?
If we ran into each other and started talking or whatever, I'd probably talk to her again. I just shoot the shit.
Now,
But,
how soon after you two, like, whatever, I don't remember exactly how you broke up.
I just was like, we're done.
It was done.
Yeah.
So if 10 minutes later, hypothetically, if I was tagging her in the back of her fucking Pathfinder, wasn't it a Pathfinder or an Xterra?
Xterra, yeah.
If I would, you'd just be like, yeah, whatever. I'm 10 minutes removed from this. Is that how you would feel about that? Like, just
No, I honestly, I think I'd just be like, the fuck, man? Like, that's what I'd be like, really? Like, the body's still warm. You know what I mean?
but you were done
Yeah.
with it within 10 minutes.
Yeah, but like, what makes you want to do that all of a sudden?
I don't know. Fucking warm vagina, hard dick. Well, one goes into the other. Like I'm just choosing a
I understand how
pure
I
thing.
mean,
Like, I have no love for this human.
I know.
I'm just playing the hypothetical here. But worst case scenario, what would you feel? It was just like, oh, this girl, like, I walked by and I was like, hey, Cassidy. She'd be like, fuck me right now. And I just said, yeah, whatever. And went for it. And you walked out.
That's like, it's a level of disrespect. That
Dude,
just,
that's what I'm saying. I would feel so disrespected that I would sock you in the jaw, and outside of whatever court date you made happen, I would never speak to you again.
Yeah.
Because I know that you don't give a fuck about me as a person to do that.
Yeah.
Especially 10 minutes because the body's warm. No,
That
I'm
was
not.
my
It's
line.
not you, James. You've never fucked anyone I've fucked. I understand that. But that mentality, that means you don't give a shit about me. If you're willing to just, 10 minutes? Oh, you're done? Dude, I've had relationships that were 5 years and longer where for like a half an hour we were like, fuck you, I hate you, get out of my house. Like, technically, we were broke up for that 45 minutes or whatever.
Did you ever have any of them just immediately go fuck somebody else that you know about?
2. Thanks for asking.
Like, but that happens, right? They,
Yeah,
like, you're
but
like,
it wasn't any
you
of
were
my fucking friends.
You were broken up for like the evening,
Yeah.
and they just went out and caught a dick.
How do you think I caught a divorce, James? I'm a
don't know.
cheery guy with a great personality and a big dick. I provide well for my family, and I've never cheated on anyone. Theoretically, I'm gold on paper.
Fair.
People do fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And the behavior you described falls under the category of fucked up shit.
I just look. If it was a friend of our level, and the scenario played out like we described, of course.
The initial
of
scenario,
course-
James, was you and Hamill.
right? But if that scenario played out, I absolutely would be like, Hamill, I got like a thing, and like we've got a thing, and he would probably be like, nah, dude. Like, if you're gonna do that, I just don't need to fucking see it. Like, we would have a discussion. We would have
Yeah.
a dialogue out of friendship. Absolutely.
Why would you even be in a position to have that conversation, James?
You get close to people that you don't have control over. Emotions are an interesting thing that
You
don't
can
have
get close to people
quantifiable-
without any sexual connotation ever.
No, you absolutely can. But the thing is that when you develop a friendship with somebody, there, especially is somebody that has potential for attraction, you always have that. There's always that. You can
No. You can shut that off anytime you want, James. I have probably legitimately 50 super hot chick friends that I have never tried to fuck under any circumstances, and a couple of them I've had to turn down because it felt date rapey. You don't have, just because you have a connection with someone doesn't mean you have to hold on to it. It doesn't mean you have to act on it. It doesn't mean you have to dwell on it. If that connection taints another relationship that you have, you forwarding the relationship that taints relationship A is a dickhead move. To taint one relationship to advance a possible other relationship is not only a dickhead move, but
don't-
it's a weird bet.
I don't think I understand what you mean by taint one relationship to forward another. You're saying, like,
okay.
in this hypothetical, I taint my relationship with Hamill
To consume his
forward-
ex-girlfriend.
Okay,
Bel-
that's
yeah.
that's the baseline.
And the fact that you're willing to taint relationship A for a possibility at relationship B, that's not good, solid behavior, James. You already have a known relationship, friendship, camaraderie, and all these things with this man, but you're willing to be like, well, fuck what he thinks. I want to see what that vagina's like. That is fucking selfish, cuz.
No, for sure.
It is absolutely fucking selfish,
Tons
and
of
it is
people-
not an
but tons-
acceptable behavior.
but tons of
Just
people
because
do
tons
it.
of people do it doesn't mean it's right, James.
I agree.
Tons of people shoplift.
You're
tons of people steal
criticizing,
cars.
so-
Tons of people murder people. But I don't do any of those things. You came up with a fucking scenario, and I told you why that scenario was bad. And you want to argue with it because for some reason you believe that it might not be bad.
Would you ever be game to let any of your female significant others, however that works, just randomly fuck other people?
They're allowed to do whatever they want. I never claimed ownership of those people. It's not about me possessing my ex-girlfriend. It's not about Jake possessing his ex-girlfriend. It's about you knowing that Jake is already upset and torn up emotionally about this woman and deciding to act in another regard anyways. That's what this is all about. It's not about ownership of a person. It's not about who gets to fuck who and who I determine gets to fuck anyone. It's about you making a shitty decision. Not you, but whoever would be doing this.
So, let me play devil's advocate again. Say it was a scenario where Jake's recently ex-significant other, and for whatever reason, this person and I were in love. Okay? Wait.
I didn't say anything. I was
I
drinking a beverage.
I watched the eye roll, and I was just like, here it comes.
because it's fucking ludicrous. But carry on.
Hold on. So emotions are a weird thing. Say that we are in love, but I am beholden to Hamill to deprive both myself and potentially a third person of love.
Are you ready for an answer? Or do you want to keep going?
Yeah, no, that's all I got to say. I'm not.
It's
I'm
fucking
asking a question.
ridiculous for you to fall in love with someone else's girlfriend. it is even more fucking ridiculous for you to fall in love with your friend's girlfriend. You want to know how fucking ridiculous
Happens
it
all
is,
the
James?
time.
They've made pop songs about it.
Yep.
Jesse's Girl,
Yeah.
an American classic from the early 80s by Rick Springfield. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's right. For
I'm
you,
not
for you,
suggesting that it is.
for-
I'm just
for
trying to
person-
examine a real world scenario.
you can have all the real world scenarios you want, but it doesn't mean it's acceptable behavior. You know why you can have all those scenarios? Because we don't live in a world where people exhibit exceptional behavior anymore. We live in a world where everyone's a fucking jackass and decides to play by their own rules because no one gives a shit about anything.
What happened? Who wrote what? I want to know.
About 10 minutes ago, Armstrong commented, James, tell Bear to stare at you for me for that conversation.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
You can't give me a scenario where that's an acceptable behavior, James. You can't. Because it is a shitty fucking behavior from a selfish fucking person.
Fair. I'm not playing.
No, but you are playing devil's advocate.
I am.
You keep saying, let me play devil's advocate. Let me come up with another hypothetical scenario. You cannot give me one where the person that fucks his homie's ex-girlfriend is not a fucking shithead. You can't give me that example. Because it's fucking selfish behavior. If we're talking like 2 years detached,
Didn't
no
that
one
work in
gives
the
a
Fast
fuck.
and Furious movies?
James, is that reality now? You want to take a Fiero up to space with Vin Diesel, you cocksucking idiot? I'm trying to have a real conversation. Fuck you.